Hey, hello, and welcome everybody to today's workshop. I hope you're all doing super well, and I hope this is coming through okay. If it is not, go ahead and let me know. But welcome to today's workshop. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jason Hamilton. I'm a Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor, and we do a workshop for you generally every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. East Coast time. And so what we want to do every week is, what I try to do is really just listen to the biggest needs of the group here and the page, and see what do you really need the most help with, and then I try to find a way to meet that need, right? And so there's been a lot of talk lately here about folks just really concerned about not having enough money and really unsure, of the confidence in their retirement. So I want to talk today about a tool that I'm going to give you for free. It's something it's on my website, but I think it'll really help you with the place to get started and give you a way to track your income, your savings, and your net worth. And I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing for you to show, for you to use, but then also I have an app that'll be connected as well. So I think that should be really cool. But while everybody is here getting logged in, I think Facebook takes a minute just to notify. I want to talk a minute about health really quick, okay? Because you can have all the money in the world, right? At the end of the day, but your health is more important than having money, because you can always get money some way. You can always work, maybe start a business, do other things to get money. But once you lose your health, that can be really, really bad. And so you can have millions of dollars and still not be able to save yourself. So I want to take a tip that I got from my personal trainer. So something that I'm moderately good about, but not great about because I wasn't tracking it, is drinking enough water, okay? So what he told me is that I should be drinking at least a gallon of water a day minimum, okay? So I want to put that out to you guys to challenge yourselves. There's just so many benefits to drinking a good amount of water. Better for your skin. It helps you digest. Your digestion is better. Your overall energy will be better. You just flush out a lot of these toxins, because if you didn't know, we are just surrounded by toxins everywhere we go. Out on the road, we have toxins from exhaust and tires burning off of the freeway. We got in our offices, there's just dust, toxins coming out of plastic. If you have a new car, that quote unquote new car smell is actually poison. But we do enjoy it, I guess. But those are some things that all get inside of your system. So I think, cleansing yourself out on a regular basis and finding a way to track it is really, really important. So I want to show you something that I'm doing, and maybe you want to do something like that. I found this, actually my wife got it first, but it's this bottle that, I don't know if you could see this, but it's a 1 gallon bottle right here, so that, basically I fill this up every day and make sure that I finish this thing at least by the end of the day. And I actually refilled it up, so I might be on 1.5 gallons. Promise I'm not cheating. I actually did drink more than this today, but I'm refilling it. But we found these at Marshall's, I think it was, or TJ Maxx or something like that. But it was like $10. It was like $10 for that. And I think it's really cool because as long as I finish that every day, then I know that I'm hitting my gallon goal. And if I do more, then that's great. But my wife and I have been doing this for like the last week or two, and it's been amazing some of the results we're seeing. My wife is absolutely glowing. She's losing weight, extra weight, and everybody wants to lose a little bit extra weight, right? So she's just looking a lot more clear. Her skin's clear. It's just glowing. She's losing a couple extra pounds here or there. And I really, really think that you guys should consider upping your water intake, because I have a strong feeling that you're probably not drinking enough water. So anyways, I know that is probably a little bit of a side note. I'm getting people saying that they cannot see or hear. So let me check on that really quick here, make sure it's coming through on my end. Apologize for the delay, but I want to make sure that everybody's good and that I don't need to do anything different here. So let's see here. Yeah, looks like it's coming from my wife. So if you're not able to see this or hear this, go ahead and just log out and log back in, and you should be able to get to it okay. All right, so let's just jump into today's workshop, and I want to show you something I think is really cool. So you may not be able to do this right now if you're on your phone and you're watching this at the same time, but if you have your computer and you can leave this running and have my audio in the background, that would be pretty cool. So I'm going to show you this here, that if you go to my website, okay? So if you go to my website here, it's called Keep It Simple Financial. So keepitsimplefinancial.com. If you go right here to my website, there is a link right to where this tool is that I'm going to show you and show you how to use it. So when you get here, right here, there's like kind of 3 little options for you to do. There's something here called the free financial management tool. Okay, so this will help you create a spending plan, find out your net worth, and again, if you want to upload your documents, you can do that, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today, what you're going to do is come to my website, and then you are going to get access here. So you click on that, and you should be brought over to this page here. Okay, if you're not, go ahead and go back and try that again. And like it says here, it's a really simple tool, and you're going to create your account, and you're going to hook it up. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. And I hope I can get this to work because I've done this with like multiple emails before, just testing it out in the past. And I need to make sure that I don't use the same email. So hopefully this will work. So let's see. I'm just going to put, so I know which one this is. So you put your name, email. Okay, email's already registered. What else? What other email can I use here? Let me think. Let's see if this will work. Cool. So now we're logged in. So that's all you got to do, right? So you go to my page here, keepitsimplefinancial.com, click on the free financial management tool, get access, okay? And then that will take you to this page here. And then from here, all you're really going to do is start filling out some of your information, right? So, and just so you know, I don't have access to any passwords or any usernames or anything like that you use here. So, I want to really give you something that I think is useful. So what you would do here is basically put in your birth date, right? So whatever your birth date is, you put that here. You would put your state, whatever state you live in. And then, it's kind of rough here, age when the person is assumed to die. So planning horizon, it defaults to 90. So if for some reason you have longer longevity or shorter longevity, you can definitely update that. But you want to get your birth date in here properly and your state. Okay, so that's really important. Then you're going to press save. And then if you are married, then what you do is you put your spouse's name, right? So you can put spouse's name. Okay, and then you put your spouse's birth date as well. And again, planning horizon is going to default to 90. You can make that longer or shorter. That's fine, whatever you want to do. If you want to add extra people, because maybe you still have children and grandchildren you're planning for, or maybe there's just someone else that needs to be a part of your plan, then what you can do is just add them in right here. So if you wanted to add your child, you just put your child's name, and you can include that in there. So I don't have any children that I'm responsible for here, so I am going to skip this portion. But that's what you do to get it started here, okay? And then you're going to hit next. So here's where you'll put in your salary information and your spouse's salary information, and then you can put in your Social Security. You can either estimate it or you can get the actual value. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to show you how to do this. So, let's say you were making, $80,000. Just put $80,000 in there. And if there's an annual increase, most people get an inflation increase of about 3%. So you can use that there. And then generally you want to put here, it's already started. If there's some reason this income is going to start later, then you can choose, one of the different options here. But generally you're going to put here as already started. And then when the income is going to end, generally, again, this is your retirement, right? So you can change some different things here, whether it's a calendar year, a certain age you're going to be, just your retirement date, which we'll put in shortly, really anything you want. So it's pretty flexible. It's a really wonderful tool. So this is like mint.com on steroids. It does a lot more, but you're not going to get any of the advertisements like you get, and your information is not going to get sold. So that's the good thing about this. Okay, if for some reason, if your income is not subject to Social Security, you can check that here, but for the majority of people, they will be, so not a big deal. Okay, and then let's say your spouse is currently working. You can put in their salary as well. Let's say they make the same amount of money. Then again, is it already started and when does it end? You put that there. Okay, and then for Social Security, you have a few options here, right? So what you might want to start with here is when you're thinking about taking Social Security. So let's say you're thinking about taking it, at, 66, for example. You put that there. And then with this drop down, you're going to have an option to choose, either just a simple estimate, which I don't really recommend. I think you need to get a little bit more accurate with that. You can either do based on your full retirement benefit or based on your historical covered earnings. So if you want to do your historical covered earning, you can actually go in here and plug in like all the years, right? All the years back to whenever. From when you started working, you can pull that right up off your Social Security statement. But for most people, just using their full retirement benefit is going to be a good place to start. So let's just say your full retirement benefit is $2,000 at full retirement age. Actually, let me move this down. Let's say you're thinking about taking it 62. And let's say your full retirement benefit, so your primary insurance amount here, is going to be $2,000 at full retirement age. And if you don't know what yours is yet, you can get that here at the Social Security website at ssa.gov. Okay, then you would save that there. And if your spouse is also thinking about taking it at 62, you can put that there. And then for their full retirement, if they have an earnings income history, then get that off their statement as well. I think that's a really good thing to do based on their full retirement benefit. So let's say your spouse's was, I don't know, $1,800. Let's just put $1,800 in based on the full retirement benefit. Then you put that there and you press save. A little side note here, if you're already receiving Social Security, you can actually click this little box right here and then just put in the exact amount. So if you're already receiving, so let's say your spouse is already receiving, you can put in their exact amount there. So if they're receiving $1,500, for example, you put that there. But if they're not already receiving, if you are pre-retirement and you're doing this early on, that's sort of what this workshop's for, is for people to do this, before they retire, ideally. But you could just put what their monthly retirement benefit would be expected to be here at full retirement age. So then you would save that. Okay, and then if you have any other income sources, you can add those here, right? So let's say you have, let's say you have some self-employment income. Let's say you are entrepreneurial and that you have some self-employment income and you make an additional $2,000 a year from self-employment. So some of the talk we've been talking about is selling things on eBay, working from home. Let's say you made actually a couple $1,000s a year on eBay, and then you would, you could just put this here, eBay income. And then you would put, okay, when does the income start? So you can put, it's already started. So you're doing that now. And then let's say you're planning to do this for, the next 10 years, something like that. You could put that on here for, the next 10 years, or you could just do this 1 year at a time. Not a big deal. If this is considered service income under the new TCJA, so the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, there is a deduction there if it is considered service income. So, I don't know if that's going to be the case for you, but if you're providing a service, like a service-based business, then you can actually get that 20% off the top. So it's a really nice deduction for self-employed people. But I'm going to uncheck that for now, and then you would press save. So pretty simple and straightforward so far, right? Then again, any other incomes you already have coming, if you're expecting a pension, you can put that in here as well. So let's say you were expecting a pension, and let's say that pension is going to start in, 6 years, right? So it's going to start in 2025. And let's say you're going to get, $24,000 a year, okay? $2,000 a month. And then you're going to have the option here on how to input this. And are you going to make this a life only? Is there a period certain? So if you haven't ever looked at your pension paperwork, generally you get a few different options on what you're going to choose, right? So life only, it means just you. Just means that only you're going to get a life only. If there's a period certain and life, where let's say it's a life benefit, but there's a guarantee that you're going to get it for 10 years no matter what, even if you passed away before, you pick certain or life. And if you're going to get period certain only, then let's say you were only going to get it for 20 years, then you pick certain only. But most people are going to get life. That's normal. And then if you have an increase on your pension, great. Then you want to put that in here. You can just use generalized inflation if you want. You can put a customized increase if you get a certain increase. So let's say it's 3% every year. Or if you get no increase, which is very common, most people don't get any sort of pension increase, then you could put that there. And if there's a survivor benefit, you'd put that in this screen here. So let's say in this case, we're going to get a 50% survivor, and we'll press save. So any of your income sources, you can add those all in right here. And if you want to make up one that's not here, you can press other, and then you would just put how it's getting taxed. So if it's a dividend, if it's earned income, interest, short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain, tax-free, or even Social Security. So, if you have, let's say a widow benefit, and it doesn't quite fit under the normal Social Security category I just showed you, which is up here, you can just put in here your Social Security, and then you could put in your widow benefit, for example. So let's say you have a widow benefit, and let's say, you get $1,000 a month, so $12,000 a year. And let's say you're going to stop that, at a certain point. So maybe in 5 years when you take your Social Security, then you would press save and you save that there. So you can add in all your income sources here so that you can track that, okay? And as you can see, we're moving here through a 6-step onboarding process. So we just completed step 2. So now we're going to go to step 3, okay? So if you're still working and you are saving, this is going to be the saving section. So let's say you have a 401k and let's say you're putting in 10%, for example. Okay, you would want to make sure that this is assigned to the right person. So make sure this is under my name. And then if the savings is already started, you can put that here. Generally, it's going to end at people's retirement. And here we're using a percentage of salary income, okay? You can also do an annual dollar amount, or you can also just put the maximum contribution. Whatever you'd like to do there, that's up to you. I'm going to use a simple percentage. And then a lot of folks will have a match. So you want to put in what your match is. So let's say you get 100% up to 6%. So you put that there. If you have any secondary matches or flat matches, you'd put that there as well. If you're self-employed, then if the saving is associated with self-employment income, then you would put that here and you would check this box, okay? So it's just different the way it's taxed. So you want to make sure that you check that if you are self-employed. Okay, and then you go to your spouses, do the same type of thing here. So let's say they're putting in 10% as well, and they're doing a 100% match up to 6% here as well, and then you would just press save, okay? If you're doing additional saving, so let's say you have a Roth IRA, okay? So you click this, additional saving, Roth IRA, and you can put that in here. So maybe you're over 50, so you can put $7,000 a year, if you want to do that. I don't think I put that age in here properly for that, so I'm going to use 6. But just so you know, if you are over 50, you can put $6,000 of a normal Roth IRA contribution, and then you have an additional $1,000 you can do for a catch-up. So you'd be able to put up to $7,000 per year. So whatever you end up putting in your Roth IRA, you want to put that here, your planned saving. And then already started, yes. And then when you're going to, usually most people do it until retirement. You can always pick longer, whatever you want to do. But we're going to press save there. And then any other income sources or any other savings, So if you have an HSA, right, you can put that in here. So you can put your HSA, and let's say you're maxing that out. I don't know. I think it's $7,000 this year. So you can put that there. Any numbers that you want. It's a very flexible system here. And I think it's going to work really well for a lot of people to help them get started. Okay, so any other savings that you have, Roth IRAs, backdoor Roth IRAs, SEP IRA, Simple IRA, HSA, cash balance plan, deferred comp, 529s, taxable, tax deferred, or tax free, and then again, any of the normal retirement accounts. So 401k, Roth 401k, 403b, 457, solo 401k, or a 401a. So you can put any of those type of accounts in here. And again, if you have a random account that's not listed, if it's a tax deferred account, just use tax deferred. If it's a taxable account, use taxable. If it's tax free, use tax free there, and then just kind of build in the numbers that way. So hopefully that's pretty straightforward. If anybody is confused at all so far, please put a question in or make a comment so that I can answer your question before I wrap up. But I'm not seeing anything yet. Okay, so then in this section here, this is your net worth section. Okay, so you have a couple options. The easiest thing to do is just to link your accounts. So let's say you have Vanguard, and again, I want to let you know that I don't see any passwords, I don't see any usernames, none of that comes through on my side. I want to make that really clear, okay? So I will not see your information. But let's say you have, I don't know, Fidelity account, for example, or Vanguard. You just click on Vanguard, and then you would click on what type of account, and then you would, log in here, username and password. Sorry about that. Username and password, and then you would just connect it right here. If that's not something you want to do and you don't want to connect it, you don't have to do that. You can do everything manually. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But the easiest thing to do is just to link all your accounts. So link your bank accounts, your credit cards, all your investment accounts, your 401ks, and you can link everything through here. So if you don't see your bank here, let's say you have a credit union, a popular one here is called Schools First. I don't know if I did that right. Let's see, Schools. Well, again, whatever. I guess that's not coming up here. Oh, there it is. So a popular one here in California is a Schools First Federal Credit Union. You would just search, right? So you'd search for it that way. Click on that. Again, log in, username and password. I do have to let you know that some credit unions, like this one, that is going to be experimental, may not be fully supported. So some of these like really small local credit unions, You might have some issues connecting your accounts directly, but any of the big stuff, any of the big institutions, Wells Fargo, B of A, Capital One, American Express, these are all going to connect pretty much without a problem. So you can connect even your student loans, right? You can connect everything, all of your financial accounts. So any sort of financial account, you want to just connect them all here, because once you do that, it's going to pull in all the data here for you automatically, okay? And it's really nice the way it does it. It'll keep everything up to date, and it's just a really easy way to do all these things that you want to do. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can do things manually, right? So let's say you just want to add everything manually. You just go here to add account. You would add your bank account, and you'd put in what type of account it is, if it's checking, savings, CD, money market, cash, or other. So let's say you have like $5,000 in this account, and then you want to put in who the owner is. So if it's a joint account, if it's you, it's your spouse, whoever that account's name is, so you put that there. And then you would save that, and then that's going to show up over here. Same thing with your investment accounts. You can do the same thing. So if you have an investment account, you would choose, who the owner is here. So let's say it's, your account, and you put what type of account it is. So let's say it's a 401k, and then you'd have to go through. If you don't want to connect your accounts, you have to go through manually and do this stuff. So like you have to put in, the fund name. So let's say you have a fund like one of these. So let's say you have a total Vanguard Total Stock Market, for example, okay? And then it's going to automatically pull in the price, the share price for you, which is really cool. So this is what I'm saying. This is an amazing system. I love it. This is actually the system I use for clients, but you're not going to get full access. You're just going to get basic access. You're not going to get all the tax planning and everything else that I do unless you do a plan. But it's a great system. It does a whole lot, and there's no charge for this at all. So then you can put in how many shares, right? So let's say you have, 1,000 shares. Okay, so you have 1,000 shares of that. You'd save that there. Then you're going to add in, just all your funds. So let's say you have like a total international bond fund. Again, you can put in how many shares you have. It's going to pull in. You save that. So if you want to do it manually and you don't want to connect your accounts, then just want to pull up your most recent statement and then go through and then put in all the holdings that you have. Okay, you can even just do asset classes if you want, but that's really not as good. That doesn't really serve a whole, it doesn't really help you out. You want to actually pull in all of your assets there. Okay, so you do that for all your accounts. So you add your account, what type of account it is, and then put it in manually. If you have a loan, okay. If you have a mortgage and you can connect it manually, you can connect your mortgage, right? So if you have a mortgage at Wells Fargo, for example, which hopefully you don't because they have a lot of problems with mortgages, but you can connect your account here and it'll pull all the data in. You don't want to do that yourself, then what you're going to do is pull in here, click loan. You're going to click here what type of account it is. And so again, let's say it was Wells Fargo. Okay, you pull that in, you put it who the owner is. So most likely if you're married, it's going to be a joint. Whatever the original amount is. So let's say it was 300,000. What the interest rate is. So let's say 3.5. The year you bought it. Whatever your term is. So if it's a 30-year mortgage, you can put that in there. What your current monthly payment is. And this is just supposed to be your base payment, okay? So this is your base payment. So let's say your payment is like, $1,700. And then what the current balance is. So if you bought it for $300 and let's say you owe $230, you put that there. If you're planning to pay it off early, then you can put in the calendar year that you want to pay it off. And this system will actually run what you need to pay extra on to pay it off. So if you want to pay it off by, 2030, for example, you can put that there. I'm going to put no early payoff for now. And then you are going to save this, okay? So if you have a property, obviously this is connected, so you need to add your property now. So let's say you own this property, your primary home, and let's say, like we mentioned before, the purchase price is $300,000. Okay, and let's say your current value is $350,000. You put that in there. You put in what your annual property taxes are. So I'm just going to use $1,500. Annual insurance, I'm going to put $900, and then you would save that. Okay, so once you do that, now you would go back to your loan, and you want to link that. Okay, so you link that. Oops. Now it'll link back to your primary home. So let me show you how to do that again in case you missed it. So you want to go in and add your property, okay? So you want to make sure you go add account and then add property. So you can add either, a primary investment property or vacation home. Plug in all the information about that and then whatever you name this house. So it's going to default to primary home. Then you would save that here. Then you go back to your loan and you want to make sure it's linked to this house, primary home, okay? And you would save that there. All right, so pretty straightforward. And then you can actually add everything you want in here, right? So let's say we want to add some insurance policies. So let's say you want to add your, I don't know, your auto insurance. You can add all of this in here, okay? So let's say you're with State Farm Auto, your annual premium. So let's say you pay $200 a month, so that'd be $2,400 per year. Put in what your bodily limit is. So let's say you have 100,000. Bodily injury per person. You put in 50,000. And then property damage, put in like 300,000 or something like that. Put in what your deductible is. So if you have a $500 deductible, and then when your policy ends, you're probably going to be keeping this for a while. And you want to put in, do you have comprehensive and collision? You put those there, and then you can press save. So you can add in all your insurance policies. So if you have term life, whole life, universal, index universal, disability, all this kind of stuff, you can put everything in there. If you have a stock plan, you could put in your stock plan at work, right? So this is pretty cool. You can put in your stock plan from work, put in all the information here, put that in that way. You can even add in things like, let's say you have annuities, okay? You could put your annuities in here. So let's say you have a qualified annuity. You can put that in here, put in what type it is. Maybe it's a fixed annuity, whatever the crediting rate is. So let's say it's 3%. Let's say your account value is 100,000. And let's say your cost basis is 90,000 or something. Just making up numbers here. So, and then your distributions, you're going to put in what type you want. If it's going to be regular withdrawals, annuitization, or a lifetime income, you can put all this information in here, right? So you can really use this system to manage everything in your financial life. So it's a really, really cool system. So it's going to take you some time initially to go through and add everything in, but this is how you would do it, right? So you can add everything in there, and make sure you always want to save that. So once you get that done, then let me add a little bit more to this investment category so I can show you something. So let's add, let's make this 10,000 shares. It'll be a little bit more money. Okay, and then, so yeah, we'll do that. And let's say this is 5,000 shares. Oops. Okay, so we'll have that there. We'll press save. And now we'll go next. Okay, so here, what this system is going to do, and actually, let me take a step back. So I wanted to show you the system so that you can use it to track your spending. If you want to track your spending, you actually have to link your account. Okay, so you have to link a bank account for it to track spending. If you do that, you're going to get access to the budget module, and the budget module will help you track your spending. You will be able to essentially, what's it called? Essentially use it like an accounting system, right? So keep track of all your expenses, the categories, and everything like that. And once you do that, it actually looks pretty cool. So that is something you definitely want to do, and make sure you connect your account. If you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to use this to track your spending unless you do it all manually, which is not fun. So you definitely want to connect the account if you want to do that. You'll press next here. Okay, and then so let's say you think your retirement expenses are going to be $4,000 a month, so you put that there, and then you press save. Put your retirement age in here, so your desired retirement age. So maybe it's 67, so we can just use that for now. And then these healthcare costs, I believe this comes from the average expected healthcare cost from like Fidelity Study. I think that's where this is from. So this is the average cost. If you think yours is going to be higher or lower, then you can just put in that number here, right? Manually do that. This is the average expected spending that comes from Fidelity, so I just use this generally. And this is inflated at a different inflation rate than your retirement expenses. So this is inflated at about 5%. This is inflated at about 2.8, I think, percent for the increases in expending that you're going to need long term. Okay, and then your annual retirement long-term care costs. This is in today's dollars. For private in-home care, this is from Genworth. I think this number comes from the Genworth study. So it's a good number there generally for in-home care. If you think you're going to want private care, if you needed some long-term care, you're going to put $100,000 a year. That's about what it costs right now. And generally, last 2 years of plan is good. You can plan for longer or shorter, or you can put no long-term care. I generally recommend you put in at least 2 years. Put that there. And then here you can actually add your goals, right? So let's say you have a vacation goal. And you want to do, I don't know, $5,000 a year, for example. Okay, and what year you want that to start, and that's going to probably be a joint goal. What year you want to start and end. So let's say you're going to be retiring in 4 years. You can put that there, and let's say you want to do that for the following 15 years after that. So that'd be 2038. So for 15 years, 5,000 a year, and you're going to put every year, right? Or you can do every 2 years, every 3 years. It's a really flexible system that allows you to do all of this. Okay, and then once you do that, you put in all your goals here. So any goals you have, like buying a car, vacations, wedding, legacy, relocation, any goal you want to put, you can put that in there, and then you press complete. So now, once you do that, you're going to have this really cool system that is going to allow you to track your spending and all of your net worth and everything like that. So when you log in, you're going to get 2 sheets here where you're going to have everything we've entered in. So your family information, expenses. Let me put pre-retirement in there. Actually, I didn't add that. So let's put in 4,000 for that. Any savings goals, income, your long-term goals, and then your net worth screen is where you're gonna put everything in there. So once you do that, now you're gonna be able to have a balance sheet here, which I think is really cool. So this is something I create for every client, but this is something, this is gonna have the basics of it. You don't get quite all the access I get, but it's really cool. So like it says here, just like any well-run business, your personal balance sheet should always be in check. And your net worth is the difference between your assets and liabilities. Assets are everything you own, such as your home and investments, and liabilities are everything you owe, such as the balance on your mortgage and other debt. So we plugged in some numbers there. So now it shows here that my net worth is $691,600 as of 6/2/2019. This is how much my assets are, my liabilities, and my net worth. You can drop this down. It'll show you the categories. So my invested assets are $571,600. Real estate is $350, so my total assets are here. My only liability I plugged in is my mortgage at $230, so that shows here, and it shows my net worth of $691,600. And then here, you'll be able to see your your balance sheet. That'll have everything for you, all listed in one place. So I do recommend you update your balance sheet at least twice per year, and so you can go in here at any time you want to do that and do that. If you connect your accounts, it'll do most of it manually for you. And then you'll also be able to see a historical calculation here. So looks like it's about 6 months or so at a time. You'll be able to see net worth. You'll be able to see your assets here. So for me, it went up here to 921. My investments here are 571. Your liabilities here are 230. So you'll be able to track all of this. So pretty cool, right? And then the next tab here, you're going to be able to see your liquidity. So your target liquidity. So here, this is generally set to 3 months of living expenses. So if you are single or you are married with only one source of income, then you generally want to have at least 6 months of expenses. Okay, that's minimum. So 6 months of expenses minimum. If you are single with one source of income. If you are married and you have 2 sources of income, I think a good target is 3 months of living expenses, because if one of you loses their job, you'll have another person that will have a job to bring in income. So that's a little bit more reasonable. So 3 to 6 months is what they say. I think if you align it like that, I think it's a good way to go. If you're more conservative, you can go up to 9 or even 12, here, right? So whatever is comfortable for you. But let's say we started with 3. When I plugged in is only $5,000. So that shows me that my liquidity is actually short. Right here, my deficit is about $13,300. So if I wanted to have 3 months expenses as my target liquidity, then I would need to increase this here. And this is also called an emergency fund. I would need to increase this by $13,300. Okay, so that would be my goal to do that. So you can use that there. I did not connect my account, but if you connect your account, you have this really awesome budgeting tool that will allow you to actually track your expenses. It'll track the categories for you. You can actually really organize your finances. So you will have to hook up one of your accounts if you're going to use this tool. So, I'm not going to obviously put in my username and password on a public video here, so I'm not going to do that here. But if you do that and you connect your account, you'll be able to manage all your expenses and your budget. It actually looks pretty cool. So maybe I can show you on another screen what that might look like. So let me log out of this really quick, and I'll show you what it looks like while we do this here. So let me put just my face back for a second. give me just a moment while I log into a different account. I can show you some things that are kind of cool. Just bear with me one moment here. Let's see here if I can do this while we're live. You know, whenever you do something when you're live, it's always fun because you never know how it's going to actually work out. But I'll see what I can do here to give you guys a good example of what this will look like. Okay, so not now. Then let's go to my dashboard and let's see if this pulls this in. So this is in progress. So while this is doing this, I'm trying to do something for you guys to show you something I think is cool, but it is, okay, there's some technical difficulties going on. So I can't show you this right now. But what questions do you guys have? Do you think this tool will be valuable for you? You know, if you think this tool will be valuable for you, let me know. And I'm going to show you something else really cool while I take any questions. So if there is questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer those while we do this, okay? If not, that's okay too. But you'll have this dashboard here that'll help you manage all your finances. And again, once you connect your account, you'll have this really nice budgeting tool. And the budgeting tool is excellent, but it's not letting me connect right now. I was trying to connect one of my accounts. It's just not showing up. I don't know what the problem is, but it's just giving me a hard time. So unfortunately, I can't do that. I don't know, I'm gonna try one more time. If I can do this, because it's just not working. Oh, you know what? I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem is. Let's try something else here. Oops. Sorry, let me unshare. Don't want to give away my personal information. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, and someone commented, if you want to know how to get here, you'll go to my site, keepitsimplefinancial.com, and then you'll be able to go here. So for those that are just checking in late, keepitsimplefinancial.com, and then you can go here to free financial management tool, click on get access, and then this will take you over to the page so that you can log in and create an account. So I think that will be good. I'm gonna take this one out of here. So let's see if this is gonna work for us. This is pulling in some transactions currently, so I don't know if it's gonna work on the spot. But while this is pulling it in, I wanna show you something else really cool. So with this system, we actually already have an app, okay? So if you wanna use this, let me do this. I think if I can get this. Okay, so if you use your phone, you can go to the Apple App Store, and you can actually get this app that goes to your phone. So Kay is asking, what are the risks of linking your account? So Kay, this is just like mint.com. It's bank level security, highest security there is. So the risk, you know, just like if you have online banking, you know, this is through Yodlee, so you can do your research on Yodlee if you like, Yodlee. It's the same thing they use on mint.com. A lot of these account aggregation tools, I think it's the same as I forget the other name of that one, but it is bank level security, so it's pretty much as good as it gets. I don't see any of this. But if you want to use the app, you can actually go to the App Store, you'll search, and you want to search for Right Capital. Okay, so search for Right Capital. And it's going to look like this. So when you see this one here, you know, you will be able to, I already have it downloaded on my phone because I use this. So you'll be able to open it up. And let me actually log out real quick here. So let me log out so I can show you how this account, I'm going to sign out. Okay, so then when you get to this page, so we're going to open this. It'll come up. What you'll do is you'll sign in. Okay, so then you'll just use the password you just created, username and password. Okay, so you put your email that you used, then you'll put your password. Let me undo this real quick, and then I'll log it in and then show you guys, because I don't want to give away my password. That wouldn't be good. Oh, actually, it's not really showing it. Okay, good. So I can share this. Let's see here. All right. So you'll put in your username and password. You'll press log in. Oh, Is that the wrong credentials? I thought I did this correctly. Well, apparently I forgot my password. Anyways, but what you'll do is you'll log in and it'll pull up this app on your phone. Let me see if I can figure out what this is now since I just did this. I thought I had it there. But anyways, you'll make sure you write down your password. Don't be silly like me and forget your password. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I forgot my password. I just made this up on the spot. But basically, what you'll do is log into your account through there, and then you'll have everything that is on your phone, or everything in this program will be right on your phone for you. So it's a really, really cool system, and I would recommend you give it a try. So if you're trying to track your expenses and you're not having the best luck in the world, you may want to do something like this and use this tool. I think I got switched out here. So you may want to use this tool to help you out, right? So it's Right Capital is what you're going to search for. It'll look like this, and then this is what it's going to look like when you actually log in, right? So you'll be able to track here. It'll show you like your net worth right here. It'll show you all your accounts in one place. You'll have your all your spending. So as it shows here, you'll be able to see all your spending here. You'll be able to actually manage your expenses. You can categorize them. You can do everything you want. If you connect your investment accounts, it'll show you your asset allocation, and it shows you everything about all your investment accounts. If you have any tasks in there, there's a certain section called tasks so that you can add that. It'll show you a place here to link all your bank accounts. So it's just a really, really nice system. So again, it's free. I pay for this, but you're welcome to use it. You get a lot more functionality if you are a client. But if you're not a client, then I unfortunately don't give all of that to everyone. Sorry, I have to sneeze. So let's go back here. So what questions do you guys have? Is there anything that is confusing? Anything you have questions on? Do you think this is going to be useful for you? Is it going to be something that you think you'll use to help you track your expenses? Dick says, can you just set everything up just using the app? No, you're going to have to go to my page first for my website to get to it. So that's something you're going to have to do. So I don't think you can get just access on your own. You have to actually go through here, through the landing page first, and then that will allow you to get the app downloaded. So once again, it's at keepitsimplefinancial.com. Then you go to free financial management tool. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen with you. So if you go to keepitsimplefinancial.com, which is my website, free financial management tool, you can go right here and just get access. Just click on this. Let me log out and show you what it looks like. For those that came late, you'll press get access. It'll take you to this page here. And then what you'll do is you'll create your account. So if you came late, that's what you do to get started. I think it's a really, really cool system. It's it doesn't give you all the access that I give, nowhere near it to clients, but it's going to give you your basic spending, net worth, and it's really going to help you track your life so that you know what you're really spending before retirement. Because I can tell you, there is a lot of people that just write down their expenses, have no idea of what they're really spending. They make a guess. Writing a budget is good, but this tool is actually going to track your expenses for you so you can compare reality to your budget, right? So what I recommend for clients a lot of times is if they're not really good, some people are really good tracking their budget, some people aren't. If you're not that good, then I say, okay, let's write down what you think you're spending, and then let's set up this account, let's connect your accounts, and let's see what you're actually spending and compare. Because most people are way off when it comes to what they think they're spending. And to be honest, guys, $1,000 over a month with realistic spending versus what you think you're going to spend could completely destroy your retirement plan. So it's so important to get your your spending right before retirement, because if you're going to map out what you think you need, and for the next 15, 20, or 30 years, and you're off by a big number, it's pretty much a waste. You're going to risk running out of money. You're going to risk having a bad retirement plan. So I don't want that for you. So I wanted to bring this tool to you so you have somewhere to track. So for those of you that were worried about retirement yesterday, I think this is a good place to start. definitely want to put your your information there and get that going. Start up an account, and then this will track it for you ongoing. So that's what I have for you guys today. If you would like to schedule an appointment to chat with me about your retirement and you want to discuss how to make sure that you can retire with confidence, then you can schedule a complimentary call here. You go to keepitsimplefinancial.com/talk, and you will land on my calendar page, and you will see what available appointments that I have. So if you want to get some help with your retirement, definitely go there, and I'm happy to do that. I'm not seeing any questions in the question section here, so hopefully you enjoyed this today. Other than that, folks, have a great afternoon. I will be seeing you soon, and I appreciate you watching. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye now.